PinkPantheress, MONTREALITY.
I believe in manifestation 100%. I was actually talking about this last night with someone where I was
Same, bro. While we speaking of manifestations, bro, I will get a PinkPantheress beat feature in a sometime future. I don't know when. And I will meet this girl. Cause I fuck with her music, bro. And I feel like we can make great music.
I was asking them, do you manifest? And they were saying like, no, I don't think I do manifest, or I don't consciously. But my belief of manifestation and how I believe it works is if you have just an undercurrent anywhere in your being that something is going to happen, if you just have something telling you that something's going to happen, whether you're actively making the, I guess, steps towards it at that very moment or not, if you have the core belief that something is going to happen at the right time, at the right place, then it will happen. Yeah, I do. And that's how I ended up I remember like a year before I started making music, I said to my friend, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be big, I'm gonna be famous. And I feel like everyone says that, but like genuinely verbatim, I went up to my friend at the co-op, which is where I used to.
We manifesting this, y'all. Me, my dog Aura, and the whole MSR collective could be big, huge. Tours, nigga. First one to say it right now. But y'all hear it right now too. Let's see where we get. Let's see how far we get in a year.
To work supermarket, and I said, oh, I'm gonna be really big, and she was like, okay, sure. And I was like, yeah, we'll see. And then a year later, like, obviously I'm nowhere where I want to be right now, but I remember like things started picking up, and we were both having a chat, and she was like, how did you, like, it was kind of crazy how you literally said it and it happened. I was like, yeah, it's kind of crazy, but it definitely is real.
Give it some time, man.
And you're watching MONTREALITY. When I was 10 years old, I feel like my view of the world was very linear. I almost feel like I only gained consciousness when I turned like 17. But when I was 10, I don't know, life was so simple. Like, I really just enjoyed playing the piano. I really enjoyed being with my friends at school, watching The Simpsons. But my view of the world was, I feel like I feel like I've always been quite similar in the fact that, like, I don't know, I've always had my morals in the right place. I try to feel like, and I've always tried to be as nice as I can to people. Musically, I've also remained kind of consistent. I've always been a big Michael Jackson fan from the age of about 10 until today. So on that front, things have stayed the same. I feel like I've still got the same ear as I did when I was 10. So yeah, as a student, I was quite I don't know, I sat next to my best friend all of high school, so I feel like I definitely made like a little bit of noise from my corner of the classroom. I was never like super academic, but for some reason I managed to do really well. I don't know why. I don't even have a photographic memory, so I have no idea what happened during exams.
You just fine?
But during school, I don't know, I was laid back. I tried to make sure everybody liked me because I had a big fear of being unliked. That was one thing I remember. And then when I left school, I realized I didn't really care. So that was the biggest difference between now and when I was a student in school. I remember prom, but I wore like a really super ugly dress for prom, and I didn't have a date for prom. And the food was really bad at prom, so if anyone who went to my prom is watching this, you can tell the school that I didn't like the food. I worked everywhere. I worked at a shoe shop called Clark's. I worked at a retail shop called Marks and Spencer's.
Got some crazy name stores in Europe.
I worked at
Marks
a
and Spencer's.
supermarket. I worked at a cricket ground. I worked at
Cricket ground.
I had so many jobs, and there was a point where I had like 4 jobs at one time.
She don't get tired.
And I was just making sure the rota never coincide with each other. And it wasn't even equaling up to that much money either. It was like really weird. I don't know why. I think there was a point where I really enjoyed working. Like I really enjoyed having a job because I felt grown up. My favorite is, oh my gosh, who's my favorite though? Probably The Simpsons and Mole Man from The Simpsons. And if you know what The Simpsons is, well, obviously you know what The Simpsons is, but if you know it very well, then you'd know that Mole Man is like that really, like, he's a really old man, he's really short, but he always, every single scene that he's in within The Simpsons, something bad's always happening to him. He's probably getting like run over and stuff. And it just, I don't know why, but whenever I see him, I'm just like, oh, he's gonna get hit by a car and like in one of these scenes. No, he's so cute and he's short and he's like this little short old man, but he's my favorite cartoon character. I was into The Simpsons Hit and Run, Simpsons Road Rage, Simpsons Virtual Springfield. There's another one, The Simpsons The Game, and Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, I was into a few, and then I had to stop
she know the file.
playing them because my PlayStation broke down, so sad. For my generation, so like Gen Z, I feel like nostalgia is such a thing because I don't know, I feel like whenever people think about nostalgia, they're thinking back to like the 2000s and stuff, and obviously there's such a resurgence of like 2000s things, if it's fashion or like aesthetic or whatever, like people love it these days. I just feel like the 2000s were just a time in like history where it was cool to be different, cool to be misunderstood, and I feel like things like TikTok and stuff is like, there's no better time for teenagers or like, you know, just young adults to feel like they're different and unique. Like I remember when I was growing up, I was obsessed with being different, and I feel like during 2011 to 2015, when everyone was like really like, there was suddenly this big thing of like, oh, I need to fit in, I need to buy this, suddenly by like 2019, I feel like people were like, you know what, I don't care, I'm gonna dress this way, I'm gonna dress emo, I'm gonna dress goth, I'm gonna dress and I feel like that's why there's such a heavy tie to the 2000s. And even within music, I feel like that's what I hear a lot, is people are like, oh, your music is so nostalgic, and I'm like, no, I guess it obviously makes sense because I'm using a lot of samples that were from the time, but yeah, I don't know, I feel like 2000 is just,
it's just timeless,
misunderstood, and it was a time for just people to just be themselves. I feel like people just love that feeling, so that's why it's come back.
Can you tell me about the fit? I really like your sense of style. If you can tell me about the fit right now. I feel like
you're the only person that's ever said that in a whole life. Actually, the second. Everyone that I know makes fun of the way I dress, and everyone online, not everyone, but like people online make fun of the way I dress, and I can't even blame them because some outfits I pull are awful. Honestly, I don't know, I feel like I just look at different things and I'm like, okay. I look at colours a lot, and I wear mostly black. I don't like wearing colours a lot. Black or brown are the 2 colours which I'm like, yeah, these are fine. But I will literally just look at 3 items, top, trousers, shoes, and I'll be like, okay, this will work.
Trousers.
And even if it looks horrendous in the mirror, for some reason I'd never take it off. Like if it looks bad, I will just walk out. This is why I'm saying like people will tell me I dress badly, because most of the time I am, and I know I am, but I'm just like, I can't be bothered to dress, so I just try and own it. But yeah, so
she dressed like a 2nd grade substitute teacher.
I really weirdly got into long skirts like 2 years ago, and I don't know why. I just always wear them now. Yeah. The realest one, I don't know. Oh, probably I Must Apologize, just because, so that song is about, I guess, lying or fabricating the truth, which I feel like lying is something which, when I was younger, like high school, I used to lie all the time to my parents constantly because they wouldn't let me do anything. So I had to lie about where I was, I had to lie about this, I had to lie about that, and there was a point where I like had to really like stop, because I realized that it would probably end up ruining my life if I had learned how to lie like this the rest of my life. It would have been really bad. And I'm trying to think of which line to recite. Oh, I say in the song, I'm like, I'm not able to tell you what you need. It's a shame cause I should be honest more. One day I'm sure I'll figure out the reason I was telling lies for. And that is me saying, one day I'll figure out how to stop lying, but for now it's good. And I guess that was written from my 13-year-old perspective. I honestly don't know how I feel like I don't know how I define love, because honestly it's like, no, I actually don't think I could. But I can tell you how I know the feeling for me manifests in I actually get physically upset when I'm around the person that I am in love with, because like I'll actually cry. Like I remember there was one.
What?
Yeah, I just cry. I'm just like sad, but I'm not sad. I'm like, they're almost just tears of like, I don't know, tears of love, I guess. But it's not like a sad feeling. It's more just like a wholesome, like, oh, yeah. And also you'll know it's like, I guess, love or something similar to love when you're away from them, you know, just and you just feel sad in your way.
That love shit crazy.
The best remedy for breakup is the blocking feature, because I don't know, unless you're someone with like amazing self-control, which a lot of people when it comes to breakup they aren't, and even if they are generally in their day-to-day life, like during a breakup, like you just lose that because everything is so emotionally driven. So the best thing to do is honestly block them and even delete the number, just so that you can't access the number.
Yeah.
And if they want to access you by messaging you, you just block them so they can't. And yeah, just live a free life, free of the shackles. You want to be free. Let's be free now. Let's do better.
What would you say is your toxic trait? We all have one.
Oh, I have, yeah. My toxic trait is probably being like, honestly, I'm quite defensive, but also like I don't always think I'm right. I definitely will always take people in, but it's more like I very much fight my corner, and I feel like for some people they can't take it. Well, not can't take it, but they're just yeah. But I feel like that's my thing. I'm working on it though. That's something I've been told since my very like day one of being alive. My dad would always be like, you are so headstrong. I'm just standing up for myself. But yeah, I feel like growing up, especially being in the music industry, it's like you learn how to have an ear for what other people think, like whether it's opinion. For example, like before I had like my engineer or my other musical friends who are artists or my managers or anyone to give me musical opinions, I would just listen to my own stuff and think, okay, this is perfect, this is done. So when you have to let other people in to give their opinions and stuff, like, yeah, you need to like grow up mentally, but also like you need to like completely grow up as a person to be able to take criticism and not get defensive about it. And that's something that I'm definitely doing every day.
At the end of the day, bro, they're here to help you, bro. They're here to help you. You may think like, oh man, why they attacking me like this, man? They're like this or like that. That's one thing I had to get over, man. They're here to critique you, bro. Help you get better and shit. So try different things. But you'll know. Like, you'll know it within yourself.
It's a very interesting journey to see myself on.
You're 86 years old.
Yeah.
What do you look like and what are you doing every day?
I still look young because I looked after my skin. And what am I doing every day? I feel like I really want to, at some point, be into acting, like later down the line. I'm not talking in 20 years, I'm talking in like actual 50 years. I want to like be a thespian, an actress. So I want to do acting. I mean, by the time I'm 86, I feel like that's retirement. But like I want to be like attending premieres, and like I want to, like, you know what Anna Wintour does, where she's kind of old but she's still like at the front of the runways. Like I still want to be somewhere knocking around, somewhere doing something like that. When I turned 15, I was really into Kpop, and I was one of the, heard it here first.
My brother's into Kpop.
I was one of the first people I know to listen to BTS. When they were just getting started, I was there from the beginning. I was there for No More Dreams.
They all say that.
I was there for all of it. And I remember like they really didn't have a big fan base, and now they're obviously huge, like the biggest boy band in the world. I remember I was one of the OGs. Who else? Just a lot of K-pop groups. I used to love K-pop a lot. When it comes to just rap, I really like Young Thug. And I like I like Playboy Carti, and I like Tyler I like Tyler the Creator, and Kendrick Lamar. Obviously, actually Kendrick Lamar is probably my favorite rapper of all time. I definitely have I think in my playlist he's the person I've got the most songs of for sure. He's amazing. When I went to Toronto, there was a lot of people that told me that they knew Drake, and there was a lot of people that told me they were related to Drake, and I don't know how many of them were actually real or not, but if everyone in Toronto knows Drake, then okay, everyone must be telling the truth. But yeah, that was one thing I picked up on. One of the earliest songs I fell in love with from Drake was Moment for Life with Nicki Minaj. And like, I don't know what it is, I think his like tone of voice is just so distinctive, but also just he's so good at melodies. Like, he's clearly got such a good top line ear that I just can't even like I don't think I could write a song in his style, which is, yeah, I would love to try one day. My message for the youth is, as I said with my toxic traits earlier, you should never be afraid of growing up and admitting to when you need to let people in, because that was something I struggled with my whole life. And then when I let people in and I let people talk to me, that was when I really figured out that I wasn't my final form and that I had a lot of growing to do.
Bro, we're not off. I feel that.
And even if you're like 86, you still have stuff to learn, you still have ways to get better. It sounds so patronizing, but yeah, let people in, let people talk and listen. And yeah, that's my message to the youth.
MONTREALITY show.
Bro,
I did not go to prom, dog. I didn't go to prom because by the time that prom was happening, I was already Earl Sweatshirt.
huh?